What's coming up in June 2025 for Scorpio placements, please? You got the vast universe in reverse as well. So you got the same as Cancer, Scorpio, okay? The vast universe in reverse. Again, pay attention to the signs. There is a two-way line of communication that's been established, but you may not even realize it, okay? So there's something that the universe wants to convey to you. The universe is listening, but you may not realize it, okay? That's crazy. I saw the exact same card at the bottom of the deck that Cancer got. So if you've got Cancer placements, Scorpio, and vice versa, Cancer, Scorpio placements, you need to hear this, okay? You need to hear this because the mirroring is wild, okay? So tell me about this energy for Scorpios. What is it that the universe is trying to convey to Scorpios that they may not be hearing? 8 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so... yeah, it's like energy. Energy doesn't lie, okay? Even if there's like a misfire or a backfire or anything like that, energy doesn't lie, okay? So whatever you put out has to come back, all right? It goes for everybody, yourself and anyone that you're connected with. So if you feel like you've been getting any sideways energy, that energy is going to go back to the source. Same if you put any weird energy out, that's going to come back to you, okay? So you just want to be mindful of what you say, how you communicate, how you show up, okay? Because the universe is listening. So don't even say something in jest, right? If you know it's something intense and you don't really mean it. Because the universe may take what you say literally, okay? So again, we talk about how sometimes we can manifest the things we don't want to experience, okay? Sometimes we can manifest the things we don't want to experience because we keep speaking on it in a negative way. So even if you feel like you're navigating a situation you don't want to experience, make sure that you're leaning to the positive. Don't speak on it like, oh, this is a horrible situation, this keeps happening, it's never going to get better. You don't want to enforce that. You know what I mean? You don't want to reinforce that belief. Yeah. So just know, like, the universe is listening. So be very careful of what you say. Especially when it comes to, you know, things that you actually believe, okay? Even if you do believe something like that, there's like a limiting belief. Now is the time to challenge it, okay? That's why the universe is even showing up in this energy. Because it doesn't want to make good on something that you don't even want, okay? But you can unknowingly put a lot of energy and effort into something you don't even want to experience. Alright? Which is why, again, communication, big theme right now. Look, see? The Magician in reverse. The Magician in reverse. A misfire. A misdirection of energy. So, if you know there's been some negative thought processes coming up, or negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, right? I can't do this, I can't have this is never gonna happen for me. I'm never gonna have this kind of experience, nothing's gonna change. You're reinforcing it, okay? So the universe is saying, listen, you need to be very careful because you don't want to keep putting this energy out, right? Make sure that you do start to dismantle, tackle these beliefs that are surfacing, right? So it's good that it's being brought to your conscious awareness, right? So that you can sit with it, so you can look at it, so you can dissect it and be like, okay, why do I feel this way? Okay, because I experienced this, and this. Okay, but what has changed since then? Because things have changed, things are changing, right? Sometimes we get so caught up in the things that we've experienced that we're not focusing on the things that are no longer presenting in that way. Like we're not even in that situation anymore, right? It's like, okay, so the fact that I'm not in that situation anymore means that it has changed. That this isn't my story, that this isn't always going to be this way. Otherwise, how comes I'm not experiencing it in the exact same way? You know? So that in itself is proof that that is not your story. It's not always going to be that way. You know? So just something to be aware of. And again, it's not for you to start getting into a loop of criticizing yourself. No. Okay? It's so that you can be aware of perhaps how you're reinforcing the things that you don't even want, okay? Yeah. So it's kind of similar to Cancer's reading, but somewhat different. I feel like Cancerians are a little bit more oblivious as to what's going on that level. And the universe is just trying to bring their attention to it, right? Whereas with you guys, I feel like there may be still a belief somewhere that needs to be challenged or needs to be, you know, rewritten, okay? Maybe a form of programming, okay? But something here needs to be challenged because it's not beneficial for you. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. So this could be around not receiving support, okay? Not receiving support or not being given a fair chance, fair opportunity. Not feeling like you can really exercise your skills, your capabilities, right? Maybe you feel like what you have to offer is not being acknowledged in some shape or form, or, you know, you feel like, I don't know, because the 3 of Pentacles, it almost feels like a lack of opportunity in some shape or form, right? Yeah, like a lack of opportunity. Yeah, the Hierophant, when it comes to your knowledge, your skills, right? Something that you're well versed in, something you're highly experienced in, something you're very, like you're an expert in. So for some of you guys, it could be that you feel like some of the opportunities in life hasn't really been reflective of what you actually have to offer. So maybe you feel like, oh, because I haven't received certain opportunities, I've not had certain, you know, certain types of experiences, I've not had the right people working with me, the right team, right? I've not been in the right environment. I've not been given a fair shot to demonstrate just how talented, skilled, experienced I am, how wise I am, how much knowledge I actually have. That this is never going to happen, but that's not true. So if you feel like you've not received like a work opportunity, right, that you know that you're actually well suited to, or if you feel like you've not been given support when it comes to maybe like your growth within some kind of capacity, that is not necessarily going to be the case moving forward. All right, so just because you feel like you haven't had the right kind of support, or you've not been given the right opportunities, or you haven't had you know, like maybe even like the company or the environment you've been in, it's not been conducive to that, it's not been supportive of that, doesn't mean it will always be that way, okay? Because it definitely has something to do with opportunity or environment, okay? So, but that is subject to change. That's what you need to know. A lot is changing right now. So even if this is something you've experienced for a long time, that doesn't mean it's going to continue to be that way. So just because you don't feel like you've had the right opportunities, or things haven't really aligned in the way that you wanted, doesn't mean that you won't receive that, okay? Which is why the universe is trying to get your attention to let you know that that is subject to change. So don't reinforce what you don't want, okay? Don't reinforce what you don't want. Or internalize the situation, right? Because maybe that situation served a purpose for a time, but maybe it's time for you to go elsewhere. Be in a different situation, be in a different environment, work with different people, have a different role, okay? Lead a different life, go somewhere different. Maybe you can't be in this energy or in this position where you're currently at. Maybe that can only occur when you branch out in a different direction, do something different, right? So again, it all comes down to perspective, right? So it's not that you can't have whatever this is that you want, okay? It's just maybe you can't experience that where you're currently at. And that's why the universe is coming through to let you know that it's not that you can't have that or you can't experience that. It's just there's a change that's required, okay? So that's all it is, Scorpio, okay?